It's morning time. I am not a morning person. We are on our way to Indiana, and it's gonna be a 5-hour drive. Hope you packed your lunch, because it's gonna be a long one.
Darling, you send me. I know you send me.
Some people just weren't cut out for life on the road.
Indiana's a lot like Ohio. The size, the people, the rules, a little bit more diverse it seems like. Too bad it's cloudy out today. Every shot kind of sucks.
So starting on this side, in here I've got a mix of Neocaridina shrimp as well as Pilomoss. This is where my blue and purple Riley's extended from. Has some purple shrimp in there as well. Some other Riley's. And in here I have some Shadow Panda Caridina saltwater species. There's only a few in there. Looks like none of them are showing. Bronze Crypt. And then, let's see if we can find one of those. And in here I have Select Orange Shrimp line that I'm working on. Real problem with going too orange is you can get into a red. And in here, I have some Extreme Black King Kong Caridina shrimp. There's one back there on the back of the sponge filter. I don't know if you can see it back there. Yeah. Kind of hard shot to get it. This tank right here, it's empty. It's waiting for something. And then here I have some multi-stripe BKKs. And they're hiding, of course. And in here, there's some wild black bar Endlers. And I'm not sure what kind of moss that is. Some Malaysian driftwood. And in here, I've got a mix of Caridina shrimp, yellow King Kongs, golden beefs.
A lot of water lettuce.
And a lot of water lettuce, some Bacopa Carolina. And down here, this tank's empty. This tank's empty. This tank, hopefully, will have some pseudomugal luminatus babies. And in this tank, and this is also pilomoss that's grown up on the top here. That's kind of cool. See how it's seeding and everything? It's like a little marsh. That would be great for bubble nesters.
Oh yeah.
Betas,
Betas.
actually that's beta breed. So the next plan is to breed some betas in here since they can make a nice bubble nest on the top of that. Sparkling gouramis would be a good choice. And here I have some tangerine tigers, which I don't want to show them too much because I got those from Green Eater and they got hunchbacks. I'm not happy with that order whatsoever. And then here is my wilds tank, which a lot of the shrimp actually turned out not to be wild, or they have bred through and bred out other genes. So it's a hodgepodge of genetics. So really a kind of a mad experiment, as well as the pilomoss. And in this tank I have pure PRLs, pure red lines, Caridina shrimp. Everybody's fed, so they're all probably in for the night. And then here I got some tiger Endlers. So they already had some babies. I'm excited about that. Some more unnamed moss. And then here I've got some crystal red Caridina shrimp, which I believe this is peacock moss, but its growth is really stunted. And these are the first Caridinas I've bred. They're the ones I've had the longest. The other ones I haven't had long enough to breed out. When I got them, they came in pretty young, so they need some time to grow. But the crystals, they're good to go. And down here I have the rainbow Endler tigers. Yeah, it's a lot better. You can get into this tank. And this is bronze crip corn. And then here I got some blue pearl shrimp line, as well as some guppy grass, Red Neocaridina, hard water shrimp. All Neocaridinas are hard water, all Caridinas are soft water. This is a old mixed tank that's actually about to get retired and replaced. It's my oldest tank. This was my first planted tank I had about 12 years ago. Since Petco has dollar gallon sale, $29 to replace it after 12 years. That's not a bad deal. Just in case. And in here I have the golden back Neocaridina shrimp.
Yeah, I saw this on the live stream.
As well as Cladophora algae and Manzanita driftwood. There's also a pseudomugal luminatus baby. And the things you see floating up top, those are spawning mops. Some Rhetia and some grungy Rhetia. Rhetia grunge.
I like that.
Yeah. And down here I have a colony of blue dreams, which this colony recently crashed because it got overpopulated. So I'm kind of doing an overhaul in it. Cut my Anubias down, added this filter in there, which is a bummer because this was my strongest blue dream line, but luckily I backed it up with other collectives. And down here I have my line of yellows, which also have golden back blood, and they're Neocaridina shrimp, and some pearlweed, and some more cladophora algae with manzanita driftwood. Because there was supposed to be pseudomugal. I tried to breed some pseudomugal luminatus in here. Ooh, that's a cool shot over on that side. There you go. Somebody got to see a filter. One I haven't taken off yet. You see some are running, some aren't. There's very few in here. Oh, and in here I've got some betas that I breed. These are temporary holding spots for them since their old tanks ended up being turned to quarantine tanks from getting new fish in for my soft water breeding projects. Get those guys. And all these betas came from Jakarta, Indonesia. There's a beta club in there. There's a guy who sells them. They all got names and whatnot. And up here, this is empty. Algae ball mixed with some pilomoss. And here's some extreme blue bolts. They're from the Shrimp King winner of the international contest at the Aquatic Experience. Here you can see one right there just come up. They're a Caridina species, soft water. Okay, in this tank I've got another line of golden back Neocaridinias, as well as an unnamed moss. I'm not sure what that is, so if any of you guys know what these mosses are, comment below. And in this tank I have Japanese blue Endlers, as well as some Daunoi hellfry, and a mix of algae and moss, which makes great fry ground. And in here I have some black and blue Riley and a male Japanese blue neon in there. See that guy? That's pretty. That guy's looking tight. And then here, this is a real blue velvet line. This is a straight blue velvet line. You can see how they graze on the algae on the side of the tanks. And in here I have a line of Bloody Marys, and working on a new strain of Endlers, which I can't disclose what those are yet. It'll be a surprise for you guys. Hopefully they turn out cool, and I'm sure it's going to take me a while to work them as well. And then here I have a hodgepodge of shrimp, some blue red Riley, there's a peach shrimp in there, as well as some Bloody Mary, I think, Blue Dream. So that's usually from culls, so the genetic pools are really deep. And in here I have Snowball Neocaridinias, and they are just taking over that tank. That's the thing about fish tanks in the fish room. It's hard to shoot around all the glare.
Oh yeah, especially from the back glare from the other
Yeah,
tanks.
yeah. And in here I have a blue pearl and Blue Dream Neocaridina mix project that I've been working on for over a year. It's thrown some crazy mutations, even some of these ones I like to call Skeletors, and also has peacock moss in there. And down here I have scarlet chili Endlers, which a lot of these Endlers were newly acquired, as well as guppy grass. And if you guys notice, I got a lot of rocks in my tank, and those are actually for when I fill the water. That way I can fill the water faster by hitting that rock, because it kind of breaks it up without kicking everything up. And then here, this tank just got a rehaul. It actually was for trying to breed orange body hatchadeno fish, which I didn't have any luck with. And it actually has some shrimp in it still left over, which were culls from Blue Dreams, and they were black blue carbon Rileys, and there's actually a purple and blue Riley in here. You can actually see her, or him, looks like a him. Those are super rare. And down here I have a line of green. There you can see a nice green right there with the stripe. Get up there. And this line of green was made from scratch, and it derives from yellow shrimp, which you can get greens to derive from both orange and yellows. And this is the yellow line derivative. I've actually worked the orange derivative before, but no longer have that creation, because they just kept pushing out way too many oranges, and I want to get any greens to keep it going. And there's also a female beta in there that flopped out of her cage. Now down here, this is actually a special tank for me. This is a line of Neocaridina I've been working on, trying to create. They are a white and orange Neocaridina, which I plan on calling Dreamsicles. The orange will throw a white mutation, and I've actually been getting some pretty good numbers from it as the time has rolled by. Even some of the babies are growing up. The younger ones are showing colors, so the genetics are coming through. And hopefully this will be my first actual line of Neocaridina that I can start offering. And it also has giant Physodin, aka willow moss. Then also I got some beta holders, some breeder boxes on the back with betas that I've raised up. Which I plan on taking those off and getting them into their old tanks, because I'm always knocking into them and rather give the beta some space as well. And in this tank I have cherry shrimp. I was using it to breed Millennium Orange Rainbow fish as well, which I had hundreds of babies pop up, but I only have one that actually survived. And also have Hygrophilia compacta, Luigia arcuata, Helferi, and some Hudori crypt. And that's about 1.5 years growth on that Hudori crypt. Might be able to find it. There's that Millennium Orange Rainbow baby back there. See him towards the edge in the back.
Oh, yes. Check it out.
Lots of cherry shrimp. And in here I have some golden wonder killifish and some blue pancheks and some guppy grass and some pilomoss. The big reason why I don't breed the golden wonder lines, these are actually store-bought, and the genetics in them are so raw and inbreded after you do breed them. So when it does come to killifish, it does help to have good lineage. That's kind of what happens when you get store-bought on some stuff. It's sad and unfortunate. Blue panchecks look good though. You can see a lot of them down there. I mean, some of the golden wonders turned out all right, but
And a lot of guppy moss.
yeah. And down here I have Blue Star Endlers and Hudoroy Crypts and some Bardier Anubias and Blue Pearl Neocaridinias. So you can see them all along the bottom. And this is the 5+ year growth Hudoroy.
Yeah, check that out.
It's a 40-gallon breeder. The crypt's really bullated as it's matured. All right, so let's count these tanks. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39. So 39 in the main fish room. All right, in here, these are 20, this is 20 long, this is 10 long, the rest are 20 long, same here, 10, 20s. In here I have the blue leopard endlers, some I believe to be erect moss in there. And then here should be some Luigi arculata in there as well. And then here I have some dwarf neons I raised up. Some of them have the xanthic form, which is like a golden or yellowish tinge to them. Some fish get that, which it's neat that there's actually a name for that type of mutation. And in here is empty. And in here is some snakeskin rainbow endlers. So I'm real excited about these guys. I don't think the mill's out, is he? As well as some Luigi arculata. And in here I have some Fire Red Neocaridina. I actually need to put some guppy grass in there. I should definitely seed that tank with guppy grass. And in here I have some peat moss tank that I was using to breed sparkling gouramis. The only thing is, sparkling gouramis, they are they're bubble nest breeders. So if you try to go chase the gouramis out to get their eggs, they go shooting into the peat moss, so it's not a very practical form of breeding because most fish that do that, same with egg scatterers, they'll scatter their eggs on top, but by the time you get the parents out, the eggs have already been buried down in the peat moss. So this tank's getting retired and redone. Then here I got rainbow tiger endlers. I know that wasn't too exciting to talk about that and just have a brown tank. But here we got a bunch
Some
of...
people love that natural tan stuff.
They do. It was great for lowering pH. And then here we got some male rainbow tiger endlers, as well as some Bacopa moneri. And then here we got a line of Fire Reds that's just kind of been brutalized, which I don't actually sell out of here anymore. It's kind of the coal Fire Red tank. And then here is the rainbow tiger endlers, some select orange mutation and a pastel kind of color that I'm trying to line out a little bit more. And then here I have some Goldii Decay rainbow fish.
They're all sleeping probably.
And some ornate rainbow fish. As well as some moss I don't know what it is, and some Manzanita driftwood. See, like how I get them out of there? Curiosity every time. Yeah. It's a good way to catch fish too. And then here I've got some female betas female betas I bred. They created themselves. Look at that, that's cool. That one female's super colorful. Wish I could get more light on her. No, she's not. She was looking colorful. And then here I have a primary blue-red Riley line, as well as some juvenile Millennium Orange rainbow fish. And in this tank I've got some black rose coals, which a lot of these actually grown up to look pretty nice, as well as some Bloody Mary. There's a really nice Bloody Mary in there. It's kind of hard to see down there though. She looks real dark right now. As well as pearlweed that has just been trimmed. And in here I have a hodgepodge of Blue Dream coals, as well as lime Endlers, lime green Endlers, Rotalia colorata, and some random Bucephalandras. Downway. And then here I have a darker line of Blue Dreams and some Luigia arculata. And this running grass here, I believe it's a super rare form of some kind of sword. It's a very, very slow grower. I've had that for years now. It's not like your regular micro sword. And then here is the secondary line of Blue Red Riley as well, which Blue Red Riley stemmed from Blue Dreams. Gotta get them Blue Red Rileys. And then down here, I have a 75 with some spiderwood, needleleaf java fern, Hygrophila compacta, and a mix of Skittles. This is where I throw some of my culls and do some of my mixing. Pretty much my main cull tank. There's actually a golden wonder killifish that lives in here as well. There he is. There's actually so many shrimp here you can't even see because that rock. That kind of rock is terrible for shrimp keeping. And over here I've got my baby. This is my baby, full of rare rainbow fish, all lines. I've got Melanitania doblei, Melanitania decai goldii, Melanitania calirum species, that's unnamed, Melanitania upper Tor River species, that's unnamed, Van Heurenii, rainbow fish, and Bowmani, rainbow fish. And I've got Hygrophila compacta, Luigia arculata, Golden Nessia, I believe some type of Nuri crypt. It's either mutated or celatang or something like that. More Hygrophila compacta, metallic red crypt. Can't remember. Anubius, and some Hygrophila augustifolia. And this tank, none of my tanks, this tank doesn't have any filter, power head, CO2. That's it.
That's it.
And over here, some future tanks. This tank I got from the aquascaping contest. There's still a Hudori crypt in there, a buche, and some moss in there. This hasn't had any water, light, or anything for, well, since the aquatic experience. So it's been sitting like this and looks like that since then. It's kind of neat, especially since there's no light and they're still living. And in here, that's a future project. It's probably going to be a grow out tank. And in here, I've got Ember Tetras, a large school of them. Subwasser tang, a rare crypt that starts with an F. I can't remember the exact name. I like to call it the Ferrigno crypt because it kind of looks like that name, but I know it's not right. AKA the Hawk crypt. And some Physodin. Right.
No filter in that tank.
No filter, just CO2. And in this tank, I've got a crap ton of shit. That's pretty fucking awesome. Like these sparkling gouramis, some peacock gungans, some penguin tetras, some SP rasboras, galaxy rasboras, glow light tetras, emperor tetra, black neon tetra, a Mate Cory cat, Panda Corydoris, and I believe that's all there is. As well as a bunch of bucephalandras that are losing a battle to algae. And some Lympnophilia aromatica. There's actually white Anubias in here too, snow white Anubias, which these are super rare. Those right there. And a lot of these bucephalandras are pretty rare too. More white Anubias. Like I'm so neglecting these awesome plants. And some Autosynclus. And this Autosynclus pair, is there a pair or is there only one back there? Yeah, there's a pair in there. That may be the male and female. I plan on trying to breed them. Most of the fish in this tank, they're going to be future softwater breeding project fish because I've got a lot of trios of them, like the glow lights ready, the penguin tetras are ready, Corydoris look like they're ready, the Autosynclus look like they're ready. With the Lympnophilia aromatica growing out in it, I'd get right up in it and get that green. Like fill the screen with green. See, that gets artistic when you get up close. People love those up close shots. All right.
Calm down.
Let's go ahead and do this other side. All right, this section used to be my beta section, which turned to quarantine, and now is being phased back to beta section, just making sure it's clean before I do so. So there's nothing in here as far as fish-wise. There's erect moss in there as well as, unless that's flame moss. No, I believe that's erect moss and Luigia arculata, which is growing out nicely. In here, I'm growing algae really well as I got a tester fish in there and some Physodin to make sure everything's all right. And here I have more erect moss and a lonely cardinal tetra that needs to be put with the group now that I know that she's okay. In here I got a longfin blue danio, some Carolina bacopa, and growing awesome algae again.
And it's purling.
And it's purling. Look at that, crystal balls. It's bright, it's cool looking. And in here I was working on this as a breeding project for chili rasboras, but nothing came about, which I was actually keeping those at a TDS of over 600. This tank was over 600 TDS and it had chili rasboras in there and they were loving it. I tried to transition them to soft. They didn't like it so much. This is the red and blue white shrimp. This is my all-American shrimp. That's red, white, and blue. It has a little spot of white on its head and a little spot of white on its tail. If we come out, let me get some tweezers. I'll push them out a little bit for you, because I know people have been wanting to see that shrimp. They're gonna get all kinds of goodies on here. And you gotta push them forward so we don't go backward. Oh no!
Oh, he's gone.
That little turd. Ruin that, huh? Oh well.
I got him right before you came.
And then here I got some more bluefin dania, longfin blue danias. Some kind of grass I collected locally, as well as some erect moss, I believe, and some more physodents. I believe these are two different types of physodent. This looks like Fontanus, and this one I'm not sure what type that is, because there's actually quite a bit of variety of physodent. And boy, they were chasing. Now, I don't know how if they're male or female though. And then here it's empty. This side's Parvacrypt. This has a Dubai catfish that was being treated. And then here I have some tester fish and some guppies that needed to be culled. And so they're kind of my tester fish, as well as some moss that I don't know what it is. And then here I have some rainbow tiger endlers. Or well, one rainbow tiger endler as a tester fish in there because he came out of my drainage container and wanted to make sure he wasn't contaminated. So he's kind of quarantined. And also a wrecked moss. And here I was testing something to kill moss. Doesn't look like it worked. It worked well the first time. It almost seemed like it created immunity to it. And in here it's empty besides some more erect moss. And down here I've got a bunch of water lettuce, some goldie-eyed decay, melanitania. There was some orange shrimp in here as well. Some Bardier Anubias, Anubias fragier. Well, that may be the Ranger Eye. Anubias. This is my old tribal village. If you actually look at it, it's kind of set up as a jungle scene, like this is the tribal village, and then that's going to end up being the jungle if I could ever get grown out. It's just I'm growing it so slow. It actually wraps around how the substrate goes. Actually, that substrate used to be white over there, but I buried it. Get him going. Pew, 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 pew.
Pew, pew. Lasers.
I'll do that just to get shots and stuff. I'll direct my fish. You kind of got to. All right, so let's start the count on these tanks in the office. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34. Now in here, this is the beginning of the guest bedroom. This is a breeding trio of Doblei, Melanotanio rainbow fish. I believe it's Snapper Creek, as well as some erect moss. I'm just planning on breeding these in here until I move some shrimp. I wanted to get some eggs first from some rainbow fish. And then here I have another line of Blue Dream that I've been trying to breed towards the brighter, bolder blue. Even set him up a little shrine with the dinosaur egg in the middle. Can't tell I get bored. Out in the rocks now, they're all hanging out. And down here I have the Fire Red line, Neocaridinias, and some peacock moss.
Infamous line.
Grand Champion line. Well, not Grand Champion, but the first place line. Try and count these tanks in the guest bedroom. 1, 2, 3. So we got 3 in here. All right, in here we got the utility section. In here I've got some Goldie Eye Melanitania Decay rainbow fish, as well as some cherry shrimp. It's a 40-gallon breeder, a bunch of hair algae, which makes for great breeding grounds. I'm getting ready to move these Goldie Eye Decay rainbow fish into a 75-gallon with the other ones and then use it as a breeding tank. And down here I have a Black Rose Neocaridina line. This is also the line that has my tricolor Neocaridina, as well as another mutation that I'm gonna start trying called, well, I plan on calling it Black Cherry. It's a red and black shrimp. You can probably see one back there, or even right here.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah. That's
Look at that black one right there.
right there's a bunch of them. You can see like the red in them and the black in them. And Black Roses, they'll throw Blue Dreams and Bloody Marys usually, once in a while. That line's been worked for years and years. I've actually collected it off another guy who worked for years and years. And this is my Scuds tank, which is a food I give to my larger rainbow fish. And you talk about an algae eater, these Scuds are the best algae eaters there are. They're also moss eaters, but you throw any kind of algae in there, they would just mow on it. And I've got a couple Goldie Eye Decay rainbow fish down there that I was just kind of using as tester fish, because I did this as a compost tank one time and wanted to see how well it would do with actual fish living in it as well as the Scuds. There's lettuce in there, tomatoes, carrots, all kinds of stuff. I actually got a video of that on a show and tell series. It was really interesting. And I had guppy grass in here. They're very good trimmers, the Scuds are. Guppy grass usually grows lanky, and since they kept eating the guppy grass, they actually made it bushy, which is really cool to see guppy grass actually bushy. And up here I have some Bow Manny rainbow fish, and those are Bow Manny, not Bosemani. Some Upper Tor rainbow fish and some Wapanga red lasers. These are all ones I'm raising up. And also have some coals from the Black Rose line, as well as some Blue Dreams, which I find often that even the coals, they have good color. If you look over here, you can see these coals. they actually end up getting some decent color. Now that's a male, and that one I definitely want to add back. But these two other ones, if I wanted to, they would actually be worth it. But I will probably just leave them be. And a bunch of Anubias. And then here I have some select orange shrimp line that I'm trying to work on, as well as some pseudomugal aru 2s and some pilo moss, which this is some really rare moss, and a scattered bush and some hair grass and whatnot. There's always some scattered plant somewhere. And in this tank down here, I have Hygrophila compacta, Pygmy melanitaneus, Pygmei, rainbow fish, some red Waponga lasers, some pseudomugal luminatus, some blue-eyed Gertrudes, and over here I have some orange Neocaridina shrimp and bred some Millennium Orange Rainbow Albino fish. Millennium Orange Albino Rainbow fish, which I've gotten some decent success with. The fry are really hard to raise. The green water really seems to help the numbers. And there is just probably 1,000 orange shrimp in there. Which they actually had the green jade orange shrimp in there. Orange Riley I pull out of there. Select oranges I could pull out. This is the mixed oranges. A lot of people don't realize all the genes that can come out of oranges. I've seen more mutations in an orange gene than any other color line, besides like the black rose and the blue dream. And down here I have a peacock gungin or goby breeding setup. Got some pipes in there, a cave. And I want to put a power head on here and get some current in there, and hopefully that'll help them get going. Maybe cool the water a little bit on a water change. Some small Heuteroid crypt. Not sure what moss that is. And over here I have a tank that I was bringing dwarf neon rainbow fish in. There's a few babies in here. I'm planning on putting some other breeding project in there, but I want the babies to grow up before I do. A little more before I net them out. I don't like to net them out when they're fry, just because it's not easy on them to transport them. It's better to transport them when they're a little bigger. And down here I have Millennium Orange Albino Rainbow Fish Trio. The light color ones are the females, and the really orange one is a male. And they've been in there for a couple weeks, so they're about ready to be moved over to another tank. As well as some giant Physodin, aka willow moss, bronze crypt, some grass, Nubius, water lettuce. Alright, let's count these tanks. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 10 for the utility room. What's up? No. All right, and here in the fish room, to start the fish room off, I have a community tank of blue Gularis killifish that I've raised up. And down here I have some millennium orange rainbow fish, a breeding trio, and some green water. So hopefully get some more babies out of them. And in here I have some baby upper tor melanitania species, as well as some thread fern, Java fern.
This is the tank he flooded earlier. On purpose.
For you guys. You always give me crap for it. Or can I say shit on your channel?
Yeah.
Since it's not my channel? Yeah, freaking hell. Alright, down here I have a green water tank with Luigia arculata and some mystery rainbow fish. And another mystery fish we actually found today.
Yeah, I pointed it out to him. He was so surprised because he hadn't seen that.
Side of the
Side in a long
stain.
time.
Yeah. It was crazy. Haven't even fed over there or anything for like months or ever since I've set it up. And over here I have a divided tank. I bring in my fish from the pond during the warmer weather and treat them because you never know what they could get out there. Currently there's nothing in here. And in here is my saltwater tank that's gone green water because I was trying to treat my new fish and it melted and nuked my plants, so I'm kind of bouncing back from that. Just takes time to get rid of that green water, but the fish, they love it. It's got sparkling gouramis in there, red koi angelfish, the cardinal tetras, Cabotia rasbora, chili rasboras, rummy nose tetra, glow light tetra, neon tetras, has the other pygmy Corydoras, the Venezuelan Corydoras, and panda Corydoras, Corduroideus. And up here, I have a tank with cherry shrimp and a bunch of babies from the Glossolepis dorotii rainbow fish. Yeah, see how that is? You can really get those babies in there.
So many babies in this tank.
Cool.
Boss project.
There's my terrarium project. That's actually Bacopa, and it has some beautiful angels growing in there, and that's all from the backyard. And in here I got my breeding trio of Glossolepis dorotii, which the red is the male, the others are females. They're the ones that had all the babies on the other side, as well as cherry shrimp and bronze crypt and peacock moss. And this is my oddball tank. This has the silver arowana, infamous, with some Bacopa Carolina there. Some goldie-eyed Decay rainbow fish, that's a female blue Gularis. Mascara barbs, also infamous. Some Luigia repens and Luigia palestratus, as well as some of the collected grass that I found. Those goldie eyes are looking real good right there. I'd really like to get that male blue gularis in there, because he is looking dynamite. The neon blue gobies, no doubt either. I usually tend to find that he hides during the night. Like, he goes to bed a certain time.
Yeah, I can't find him. But I did get shots of him earlier.
Well, that's good. And I think you got the blue gularis too, didn't you?
Yeah.
And then down here I got another 125 long, and this is a hodgepodge of fish. Lots of them going on. Pygmy, rainbow, the dwarf neon. There's a xanthic form of the dwarf neon. A little more grown up. That's a goiter river over there. The yellow Herbert axelrodi, golden white cloud minnow, pseudomugal gertrudes. The sea alani, which is considered Dairy Lane's holy grail of rainbow fish. In Anubias, I've got a placo, bristlenose, and bristlenose placos. Glass cats, a whole school of glass cats down there. Some pencil fish, Beckford pencil fish. Oh, that pygmy rainbow fish, you see that male's got his breeding red on. Now he's not looking, little jerk. Okay, here I got a bronze crip, big bronze crip going on, more Anubias, Augusta folia. I can't wait to breed those alanis again. I got a few females, they're just still so small still. And over here, I have a breeding pair of dwarf neon praecox, which they've actually got babies in the tank with them. I got one male, one female. Luigi repens in the back, or not repens. What is that? Luigi? No, yeah, it is Luigi repens. I was getting stuck with the Sturgeon repens for a second. And some unnamed moss. Should maybe Taiwan moss, maybe? I'm not sure. I'm not sure if you can pick those babies up or not. They're itty bitty things. And over here I have a Tropica crip and Rainbow Tiger Endlers that's been selected for a flame tail. You notice many of them have a flame tail to them. It's a little something I've been working on, messing with. And down here I have the champion purple guppies. Lymphnophilia aromatica. Another type of crypt, I believe it's a nuri of some sort. And a pink flamingo crypt. And this is the Rotalia ramsjor. And then here's a future tank that I'm going to be working with, and I actually got these rhizo mats. I plan on trying to make a house, like a house with moss and whatnot on it. Should be interesting.
Like a greenhouse.
Yeah, sort of, yeah. And then here I got the Blue Star Endlers. Another colony of them. I like to keep multiple colonies, that way I can mix genetics time to time to keep any inbreeding down. If you get closer and try to get that light off, if you come like towards this side, look at that. thing I like about the iPhone is you can change like the dimness. And then this also has some kind of rare crypt in it. And then here I've got some dwarf neon babies. It's a pair grown out. And once those grow out, I will go ahead and change it to another breeding tank. And then there's some crypts growing down there that's also a rare one. I think they are the Phoenix Green. And also some Pilo moss. And over here, I have some Philippine blue angelfish, a breeding pair selected out of 200 that I bought. They've been cleaning the rock today, hoping they will breed and not eat their eggs now that the rock's back there. But now we're in their face, you never know what they're gonna do. And in here I have cherry shrimp and also breeding Pseudomugil illuminatus pair, which, there they are, they're back in the back. May not get to see them. They're being shy. But they're in there, I swear.
Yeah, I just saw some back there.
This one's empty, waiting for something. And then this is a breeding pair of upper torch species river Melanitania rainbow fish, as well as a wreck moss. And then here, this is empty, but full of moss. That one moss I don't know, and that one moss I don't know again, empty. These are orange body Hatchetdaño fish. Over here I got some Melanitania Cali rum, which I just scared them off trying to do the finger thing. You know, like me fingering their tank. Ones I raised up. And over here I have a tank where I tried to breed some of the purple orange Hatchetdaños in soft water. So I've tried to breed them in hard and soft now. Haven't had anything trigger yet. The female just won't drop her eggs. And in here I am trying to breed some Chili rasboris. It's got some golden Nessia in there, thread Java fern, and some Sawassertang. Which they're looking pretty good in there. To me, I think they like harder water better than softer water. And in here, there's nothing yet. It was actually looking pretty nasty, but starting to clear up naturally. Mostly because this was immersed form of HC, but now starting to grow its submersed form of HC, which I'm happy about. There's a little bit of flame moss in there, red fin or thread leaf Java fern. And then here I have the Celestial Pearldaño breeding group, the first one, which they spawn and breed into those, as well as some Downoi, some Fuchsia philandra. And then here I have Celestial Pearldaño's other breeding group that makes the genetics. That way I don't get any inbreeding down the line. A Reneki and some Bardier Anubius. And here is where I just pulled some Blue Galaris trio from, because they were scattering all their eggs about the rocks because they got on to me still in the spawning mops, which now they're down here in a tank full of spawning mops, which they are hidden in them. But now they don't have anywhere to spawn besides on the mops. And up here, these are going to be breeding project tanks, which I'll show you the idea. This is the same as what's over there, and I'll show you what the idea is with them. Up here I've got a little HC growing out. Trying to do a little immerse, just seeing what happens. It'll probably die, get neglected being up there. And in here I have baby CPD fry, celestial pearl danias. And over here I've got more CPD danias, which I put one group in one tank and put one group in another tank. Yep. Exactly. I love how the water lettuce has been growing long roots in here. And over here it shows my breeding project plan for these tanks. What I done is I took the plastic part from a T5 light fixture, bent it in there, siliconed it in, and what I plan on doing is taking the glass bottom out of the tank, putting legs on it, replace the glass with some mesh, and egg scatterers can drop their eggs into the bottom here, and I can see if they're actually laying or not. Now I can fit a 10-gallon in here this way, or I can fit a 5-gallon across that and a 5-gallon across that. So I can actually breed two types at once, or just breed one type at once in a 10-gallon.
Fantastic idea. That's the first time I heard that.
And I can actually plant each side too, so I'll get all the microorganisms. Right now this would be great for a baby fish. All the algae just dusted everywhere. They would love it.
A tank within a tank. Tankception.
Yeah, tank-inception. And over here I've got my neglected side, since I don't really see this very often.
That's where we found the rainbow fish.
Yeah, which technically that side's all supposed to be like tetra breeding, rasbora breeding, and this is all supposed to be killifish side over here. So eventually I'll transition over to that. I've just been debating on what to do with my substrates. And this is where we found that mystery fish that's been back here, I don't know how long, had to have been months, as big as he was.
Tell them where the water level was.
Yeah, this hasn't had any water added, so it's gone all the way down. And he was living in there, eating whatever. And so obviously empty, 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 empty. I still got to do with airlines, got all that stuff. So I guess, I don't know if we should count these tanks or not.
It's up to you. We can count them as halves.
I can count those as halves too. I got one tank over there on the ground too that has shrimp and whatnot in it. Let's get that tank, because that's kind of crazy. Let's see, I got cardboard here. Let me put this cardboard back up here. And then this tank here, this is actually from my drain barrel that I drain when I do my water changes, and there's actually a bunch of shrimp in here. But if you look at it, the water is really crystal clear, even though I kind of mucked it up. On the side here, you can really see it. So I don't know if you want to count that as a tank, but this is the mash in the 5 gallons I plan on doing the spawning with.
You can also have more here.
And then this is for future expansion. FX6, retired. What to do with it? Who wants it? I'm not shipping it.
Maybe a giveaway, but
I'm
someone
not
ships
shipping it. Same with the Eheim 3, it's retired. Let's count these tanks. So in the garage we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35. And 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42. If you want to count those last three. And upstairs, I've got 2 tanks, but the kids sleeping. The 180 is empty, the 125 full of rainbows. It's looking awesome. And then I've got outdoor ponds too, which it's dark outside, so probably not gonna go out there. So if you want to count those as well. So how many do we have in here?
I don't know, where's that piece of paper you have?
I think it was around 40. So we'll since some of those aren't quite full and it was near 40, we'll put that around 40. So in the garage we got 40. So that comes to a total of, let me do the math here, 79. Let's see, we got equals 126 tanks. Cheers.
Well, there you have it, people. That is the number of tanks, and that's the first time really that
In a
you
long
counted them
time.
all. Yeah, in a long time. So there's your exclusive right there. Thank you so much to the man himself, the legend, Lucas Bretz, for having me here.
We have a lot of fun together, so definitely want to do this again, and I
Yeah.
appreciate you coming by and doing this and showing off your drone to me.
Oh
and
yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
Well,
it's been fun.
It was an awesome city to visit as well, so it was a thing on its own.
And got to do a couple live streams on my channel as well, if you
Yeah.
want to check those out.
Yep.
I have a website, lrbaquatics.com. You can find my goodies there for sale, all homebred, not imported, healthy, and all that jazz. So, and I'm on YouTube as well, LR Bretz Aquatics.
All right. And that's us signing out. We'll be up all night. Peace out, people.
Peace. Always be running. And that doesn't mean running. It means going, doing it. Just do it. Stay strong. Take action. Do more. Be tenacious. And rock on. Where are you at, fish? Where did you go? Why did you leave me? You hurt me so. I wanted to film you, but you just didn't come. Why, oh why?
Are you ready?
Yep. Action. Action. 5, 4. Bruh, bruh, bruh. Level up. Breaker, 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 breaker.